I'm Claudia Kay, and welcome back to my channel. So, I'm doing a little video just in case you missed what the Altered Book Project is and you want to join in. And at the end, I'm going to have a little haul, just a little haul. Pickings are slim, but if you already know what the Altered Book Project is, you can skip to the end and just watch the haul. But if you just heard about it or you've heard it mentioned, you're not sure what it is, I'm going to go over all of it. We're in week 1 right now, and I've structured it so that you could come in the middle of it in like June and still be fine. Like there's no limits on this project. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have the time. It helps me out. And let's get right into it. So when my daughter was in 8th grade, now my daughter is 22 now, but when she was in 8th grade, she did an altered book project. And when she brought home the assignment, and I'm like, you're going to do what to a book? I am not kidding you guys. I flipped out. I have been a lifetime reader. On average, I read 100 books a year. Probably more than that, but that is what that's the ebooks that I read on my iBooks app. It counts it. So I average 100 on there. I read more, actual books and in person, like books that I don't count. So I have no way to count how many, but I could safely say I read at least 100 a year. So books to me are sacred, right? You don't write in books. You don't turn the corners down. You don't eat and drop food over them, which is what one of my little sisters did. So when she brings this project home, I'm like, you're not. And she's like, Mom, we got to get a cheap book. It's part of my grade. Like this was a whole semester project they were going to do for this class. And I'm like, oh, fine. So we go to Ollie's, which is a bargain outlet store, and I let her pick out a book that was just a couple of dollars, and it was this one, Vampires in the Lemon Grove. And I don't remember how much we paid, but really, literally only a couple dollars. And I don't know how we ended up at Ollie's instead of going to a thrift store, because we thrifted often when she was that age. She would thrift her clothes, find Gap and, Old Navy and better brand, like Vera Wang. We thrifted some Vera Wang ones. So I don't know how we ended up at Ollie's to buy a book instead of a thrift store, but we did. So this is the book that she bought. Now, I have to tell you, I've since changed my stance on altering books for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is a book that never made any bestseller lists. It was produced, people did not read it, probably wasn't that good. And you know what ends up happening to these? They go into the landfill. And also, all of those books that get donated to Goodwill, they end up in the landfill. Books upon books upon books end up in the landfill every year. You can Google the numbers to find out how many they estimate end up in the landfill, but books aren't sacred. Unless it's a signed first edition of a Charles Dickens book, books are not sacred. So, an altered book project you're not breaking the laws of the universe if you're going to do an altered book project because of the amount of books that we throw away every single year. That's just my stance. I know I used to be on the opposite side of that, so I understand if you have hesitation about it. I get it. I do. I do give you options for if you wanted to do the project with us, but you cannot bring yourself to alter a book. So I will give you some options. But so I saved her paperwork from this assignment for 7 years, wanting to do this. I am not artistic. I've always been #Team No Craft, but I've been wanting to do this. And last summer, I found the perfect book. Found the perfect book that I wanted to alter. And it is Two Lovers and it's by George Eliot, which I learned was a female author. This book is over 100 years old, but the binding was already broken. Somebody had, see how broken the binding, somebody had written in the front and the back and here. So it's very written in, pages are very loose. There's a lot of damage in here, but it's pretty. See, just some of that is gross, but the book itself is pretty. And I liked that it was over 100 years old. It is not, I also liked some of the pictures that were in it. It's not uncommon. You can buy a reprint brand new on Amazon. You can go on eBay and find copies that are 100 years old like this one, that are in much better shape, that aren't faded on the front, that aren't written in and inscribed like this one is. I paid $1 for it at a garage sale. So to me, this was the perfect book to do this project. Every week of this year, I will be giving you a new prompt on Wednesday mornings on my Coffee Chat and Small Sale Live. And I am pulling the prompt at the beginning of the sale as we chat, so that you do not have to hang around for the sale unless you want to hang around and see all the beautiful things that I sell on Wednesday mornings. You know, by all means, hang around and do that, but you don't have to. I'll give the prompt near the beginning, so if you don't have time, I get that. So you'll get a prompt every Wednesday morning. You've got a week to do the prompt. Now, the other thing with these prompts is, if you've got a super busy week that week, if the kids all have the flu and you cannot do it, you don't have to. If you don't have the art supplies to do the prompt and you can't afford it, skip that week. You do not have to. And in fact, my book does not even have 52 pages in it. It only has 37 pages in it. And there will be weeks when I cannot do a prompt. And I'm giving myself permission to not have to do every prompt every week. So if it's something you don't like to do, skip that week. You know, so it's super flexible. And one of the junk journalers that I follow on TikTok was asked recently, well, what's the point? What is the point? And she said the point is mental health, that makes you feel better to make something beautiful or fun. So that's number one reason we're doing it. It's beautiful, it's fun. Number two, it gives you a serotonin and dopamine surge in the chemistries in your body. So it makes you feel good. And it's a stress relief. This project is supposed to be a stress. If you find yourself stressing about this, don't do it. Take that week off, or take a couple weeks off, come back to it if you've got the time and the mental energy. This is just fun, and it's creative and maybe funny, because I am not crafty or artistic in any way whatsoever. And I'm going to share all of that with you guys. So you'll look at your books and go, well, I did a better job than that. Yeah, I'm sure you did. So it's simply for fun, for stress relief. If you cannot bring yourself to alter a book, you don't have to. You can use a notebook. You can use a notebook and either skip the prompts where you would need like words, because some of the prompts you're going to need words for. So you can either skip that week, or you can print a page off of the internet of something random. You can use a piece of junk mail and just glue it into your notebook. So you can use a notebook. You could use a composition book. Dollar Tree has notebooks for $1.25. You could use a flip notebook like this one. Let me show you. You could use a notebook like this. So you could thrift a notebook. So you do not have to alter a book if you don't want to. And then with the prompts, be creative. So our first prompt last week was draw on a page with colored pencils. But say you don't have colored pencils. So you could use paints, you could use crayons, you could use different colored pens. You don't have to use colored pencils. Or you could, if you've got a printer at home, print off a picture of colored pencils and glue it into your book. So you can be inspired in any way that you want in order to follow the prompts. This is our first prompt. So if you want to join our Altered Book Project, you are not behind yet. On Wednesday, I am filming this on Sunday the 8th, and on Wednesday, I will be giving the next prompt. I also post the prompts on Instagram later on Wednesdays. And if you have an Instagram account and you want to show off your page for that week, just either tag me in it with an @ClaudiaKVintage or hashtag ClaudiaKVintage. And then I'll be able to see them. If you don't have an Instagram account, but you would still like me to show them on my Instagram account, you can email me at claudiakvintage@gmail.com. So I would love to see what you guys are doing. So since this week was colored pencils, I colored a rainbow. Now, how simple is that? I am not an artist. That's my colored pencil page. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be honest. It was hard to do this because books are sacred, right? And so I've never colored in a book before that was not a coloring book. But I did it. I did my first page. My mom is also doing the project. And she just made a little scene on hers. And it's funny because I think we both started out in the beginning of the book, which you don't have to do. When my daughter did her project, she, right here is where she listed which pages that she did the particular assignments on so her teacher could grade them. And, oh, she did do her first page too, but I don't think it was the first page that she did. So there are some pages have nothing at all. And then so this was hers from 8th grade. Other things that might be helpful. I gave some hints in last week's live, but I'll go over them again. Collect things in your daily life that you'll want to use for future prompts. So I don't know if you guys saw some candy wrappers falling out of here, but I ate my Christmas candy and saved the wrappers because I might need them for a future prompt. I also saved some junk mail that I got from Coastal Living magazine. That might go into the book. That might be a fun thing to save. So you can you could save like the labels off of cans. So you make green beans for dinner, save those labels. You make soup, save the label. So you can have a file folder, or you can have a basket, or you can have a drawer that you pop that stuff into and use in the book later on this year. And make sure that you have a piece of like thick cardstock or a thin piece of cardboard to put under the page you're working on. So if you glue something, it doesn't seep through. Markers don't seep through to the next page. If you're cutting out, because we'll do some cutting later, if you're cutting out, it doesn't go through to the next page. So there's a little hint. And then have a way to clip your book open if it doesn't fall flat, so that the page is dry before you close it again, whether you're gluing or even painting or using marker. Sometimes marker doesn't dry, and then you don't want your pages stick together. So have a clip and I don't have a clip yet. I will get to the Dollar Tree this week and see if I can't find something to clip the book open as I do it. I'm glad we drew an easy one for the first one. So I have 52 prompts in here. Well, 51 now because we've done our first one. I'm just going to pull one every week and work on it as you can. Don't work on it if you don't have time or energy. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be stress relief. And I think that's all. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments below, and I will read all of them and I will answer them. And if they're like, if everybody's got like common questions, I'll do a follow-up video and go over all of it again. But that is our altered book project for 2023. And you do not have to show a single person in your life. If you don't think you're artistic, but you just want some stress relief, you do that and you keep it to yourself. But if you want to show it off, you can also tag me or hashtag me on Instagram, and we'd love to see what everyone else is doing. So that is that portion. And now I want to show you some things that I thrifted. And let me tell you guys, oh my goodness, Goodwill, empty. Goodwills have been empty. And I don't know if they do that for inventory this time of year. I don't know what's going on with them. So I went to Goodwill on Friday, I think. I came out of there with one piece, but I was pretty sure it was good. It's more Heisey glass. Oh, you guys know how much I love the clarity of Heisey glass. So, got Heisey glass. And this, did I leave it out? Yeah. This will be up for sale tomorrow if you're watching this on Sunday. If you see something after my sale tomorrow, because my sale is at 1 p.m. Eastern, Glass with Class on my channel, and we are not going to be flip-flopping channels anymore. It'll be on my channel for the foreseeable future, but Nikki's not going anywhere. We're just simplifying. So if you see something and you want to know if it's still available, then after the sale tomorrow, you can always email me to see if it's still available. So this is the Waverly pattern. And it's just a divided little relish dish. But these are perfect for like displaying brooches. I love, love, love my Heisey glass. So pretty. So that was my first thing. That was the only thing that I bought at Goodwill. I walked out with nothing else, and that is so unusual for me. So then Saturday, Dad had some errands to run, and he said, hey, you want to go with me? We can go to Volunteers of America. Last time I was in there, their prices were super high, but I was like, all right, let's go look around. So glad I did, because look at the black and pink. Black and pink, Hazel Atlas. No dishwasher damage. Now the gold, they were obviously used. There is gold loss on the top, but aren't those fantastic? I could not find a pattern name on them, but I did find crazy prices on them. So picked up 2 of those and picked up this little vase. I went back and forth about it, but really liked it. And it was filthy. And I was afraid like it would have damage, hard water damage on the inside. Nope. It cleaned right up as soon as I cleaned it. Isn't that a little pretty little bud vase? Oh, so pretty. Not crystal, it's glass, but the pattern catches the light really well. But there again, that is all I walked out with. And while we were up at the register, our Volunteers of America, I don't know about other people, keeps like better items up front, higher priced items. The end cap had a lemon plate, the pattern's lemon, bowl, and coffee mug stacked together with masking tape over it. And then it said 3 pieces, $12.99. The Dollar Tree was selling those 2 years ago. Those came from the Dollar Tree. If you looked at the bottom, they still had the sticker from that. I was like, are you kidding me? These are Dollar Tree dishes and you're selling them for, I was furious. $12.99 for 3 pieces that cost $1 each at the Dollar Tree 2 years ago. So then we decided to stop at Mid-Ohio Antiques because I have a favorite booth there. And the guy does estate sales and I always talk to him when he's in there replenishing his booth, and I really like him. And I'm like, let me just run through his booth real quick. And so glad I did. So glad I did. And let me tell you, antique store prices, cheaper than Volunteers of America prices. I got blue glass with metal salt and pepper shakers, Japan. Now the metal isn't fantastic, but blue glass, these are fun. So I picked those up. Picked up this candy dish. Let me see if there's any. I don't see any chips. Oh, it's so pretty. With the clear glass bottom. So pretty. And then, last but not least, definitely not least, look how big this compote is. Black glass. No chips, no cracks. It's gorgeous. So, the antique store is where it's at, apparently. Yeah. So, it turned out all right, even though I was very angry when I left Volunteers of America, because that is just absurd that you are charging $13 for pieces that were $3 originally at the Dollar Tree. Anyway, so if you're watching this tonight or Monday morning, all of these pieces that I showed will be available for sale at Glass with Class at 1 p.m. Eastern on my channel. And that's everything. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys in my chat at my sales. And even if you're just coming on Wednesday morning for your prompt for the altered book project, that's fine. You do not have to purchase from me. It's good to see you just hanging out with us and having some fun in the new year. Remember, be kind. It doesn't cost you anything, and it may mean everything to someone else. Bye.